Hey guys, it's Pete from Systems by Pete, and in this short video, I'm going to show you how to go from being completely owned by your business to taking control and getting your life back. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So I work with business owners who are frustrated, who are overworked and feeling like they're just a slave to their business. Maybe they're even feeling like they're ready to throw in the towel because there's just so much work going on that it's unsustainable for them. And this is the kind of business owners that we want to reach here and say, if you're having this issue, guys, this video is for you. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have to feel this way, and we're gonna address that. So today we're going to be looking at 3 things that you can do to start moving the needle of your business from frustrated to free. So a little bit about me, guys. I've been a business entrepreneur for over 22 years. I have built and sold companies on the premise of business systems, and I've been where you're at today. I've been frustrated, I've been overworked, and I have thought, you know what, it's probably easier for me to just shut down this business and look at starting something that's easier, that requires less of my time. And that's kind of the trap that I got myself into. Really early on, I started doing that, where I would start a business, get a little bit of traction, find that it was just too much of my time, close it down, start something new, only to find I'm in the same trap. And what I started to realize that it wasn't necessarily the business that I was doing, but how I was going about creating that business in the first place. So we want to start looking at how we can come and look at businesses a little bit differently overall. Just a little bit more about me. Guys, I love to cook. I recently got that pellet grill called Traeger from Costco, and it has been just awesome just going through and learning how to cook all kinds of new things on a wood fire grill. And just those are some of the things that I really love to do. So just a little bit about me and my hobbies. But let's talk about you. Okay, if you're in this situation right now, let's dive straight in to the 3 things, because the truth is, if we don't do these things, then it's just going to get worse for us over time. Year by year by year, you're going to expand your business, your client base is going to get bigger, and your workload is just going to increase exponentially, and that's not sustainable. So what can we do? So I want you to grab out a piece of paper if you'd like to follow along. If not, you can do this later as well. You don't necessarily have to do it while you're watching this video. But what we're going to do is just write on the top of the page who your actual customer is. Who do you sell to? Now, you might have tons of different customers, and you might have tons of different products or services that you do. I want you to just pick your flagship product, the one product or service that you offer, that you know, the ones that attract the clients that you really like to work with, the ones that pay your advertised prices, you know, the ones that the service or whatever that makes you the most money. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what you want to find, is just that one core product or service. Write that down and say what it is. So if you want an example, for me in my video, I work with business owners who are frustrated. So I would put like overworked business owners as my main, kind of customer that I'm going for. And then underneath it, business systemization or business systems is what we actually provide and produce for those clients. So that's what I do. So I would write those 2 things on the top of the page. Now, going down the page, we're going to do marketing. How do we attract our clients? Are you posting on Facebook? Do you have an expo table that you invite people to come and learn more about your products? Do you do pay-per-click ads? What does it look like there? Just write it down. And if you have a couple of different things that you do, go ahead and use a couple of boxes across the board. The second thing is, once people see your marketing message, how do they inquire into your company? Do they give you a call, a text? Do they fill out a form on your website? That sort of thing. Third, once they have inquired about your company, what do you do in order to bring them into your sales process? Do you have a long sales process where you're going to issue a proposal and you're going to do that kind of thing for them? Is there a discovery call that we're doing? What's happening there? Do you collect information? That's the next step there. Once we've got the sale done here, is there anything with money that's involved? How do they pay you? Really quickly, just write that down. How do you deliver your core product or services next? Right. So do you create widgets and actual manufacture products, or is it a service that you do? Like mine is a service, right? That I would do. What's going on there? And then the last thing that we want to do is, how do we get these customers to come back and do it again, right? And so is there a newsletter that they're going on to? Do you drop a coupon in the box inviting them for their next order? These types of things. So this whole process here is going to define how your company, how a customer or a client goes through your company for that particular core product or service and how that looks. And if you look on this page right now, what you'll see is that the things that you're writing down are starting to create the first levels of systems that your business uses in order to make this happen. Yeah, that's right. Whether you knew it or not, you already have systems in your business and they're already working. Our job now is to define what those systems are so that we can start bringing them to the surface and making that the key for how we move our business forward. So that's the first step, define. So number 2 is assign. Now this is a little bit easier. Just take a look at all the departments and the different things, and for each area that you have on there, just write a name next to it of the person that's involved in that, responsible for doing that particular job. That's it. So all the way down. Now, you might have one person in the department in marketing that does the marketing stuff. Let's just use that post on Instagram as an example. You might have one person that does that, or you might have 10 people that actually work on that thing. Just pick the one employee you feel is doing it the best out of all of them. Like if I could have this person, this person's way of doing it across the board so everybody does it, then my lower performers would actually come up to my high performers. And that's what we're looking for overall. So do that for each one of the things and just put a name next to it. That's the assign part of it. Now, the third and the most important thing, guys, is that we want to extract what is happening here from these employees. And the way that we do that, take a look at what I'm doing right now. I've got a video cam here, and this is my phone. I'm using this right now. I'm recording this, and that's all we're gonna do. So get out a phone or get out Zoom, depending on what you wanna record, whether you wanna record the person or whether you wanna record the screen. And we're just going to say, okay, take us through your job. Step 1, I do this. Step 2, I do that. And have that person just go through their job and just kind of talk it out while they're doing it. And that's going to record and kind of capture that whole process there. And from there, we can have somebody else document it, watch the video, and start writing down the 1, 2, 3 steps. And then we can bring it back to that person and we say, is this what you do? And they can watch the video, they can look at the documentation, they can make any changes that they need to, and they say, okay, yes, I put my stamp of approval on this. Bammo, guys, you got your first system in there. We're gonna take that, we're gonna put it into a document repository that we have, and that's shareable that people can get to, and you have your first system, just like that. Now, what does that do for you? First of all, that's gonna allow your employee to say, if I ever need to know, if I ever forget what my job is, I can always go back and look at what I approved and what I said that I do, right? Helpful for review time, helpful for anything like that, especially if an employee gets off of what they're doing, you can say, well, this is what we agreed that the job is, we need you to get back to this. And it's very easy to center them back into the right space. Secondly, when you got new employees coming in, now they don't have to shadow your employees and take all their time, and your employees don't have to worry about trying to be a trainer on top of doing their job. They can simply point the new employee to that documentation and say, well, here's a video and a document that you can watch and you can check out, get 99% of the way. You might have a few clarifying questions for me over time because you're new, but then you're going to get it, and you're going to be, more importantly, you're going to be doing things the same way every single time. And so all the people that are coming in have a standardized approach to the way they're doing it. Now, that might be a lot different from the way you guys thought systems were in the first place. I know that when I've talked to people about systems, especially when we get on calls with people, they're thinking, wow, I thought systemization was all of these documents and all this stuff you have to do, and the factory floors and assembly lines and people just doing the same button push all over again. Sure, there might be companies that have systems that run that way, but guys, that's not what we're talking about here today. We're talking about a small set of instructions that your employees will actually use in order to make sure that business is done in a standardized fashion all the way across the board. And that does not mean that we're pulling the creativity out of the process, if you will. So define, assign, and extract. Okay, now let's really quickly just recap on what's going on. So guys, if you're feeling like you are completely crushed by your business, if you're feeling like I don't see how I could move forward doubling or tripling the amount of orders or the amount of customers that I have coming in because that's gonna double or triple my workload, then you absolutely need to be looking at this, because if you don't do this, it's just gonna get worse for you, right? As we continue to expand our business, get a second location, take on that new client. That's just taking more and more and more work from you. You were missing, the child's birthday, or you were missing going out with the fam, or you're missing, maybe it's not even, having the free time. Maybe for you, it's working on the vision, mission, the goals and forecasting of your company. The stuff that only you can do as a business owner. That stuff's really important that somebody is doing that. And if you're not addressing those things in your company, if you're constantly in the day-to-day workflow, then those things aren't happening. So you really need to be looking at that stuff right now. Define, sign, and extract, and we can start to get to an end stage where you're going from that completely frustrated, I want to close my business down, to, wow, I see how I can now scale this and really go from here. And that's where we want to get you guys. So if this is tracking with you, if you feel like this is something that you need, then find that book a call button down below here. If it's on a video, if this is on the website, I don't know exactly where this video is going to be yet, but there will be a way to book a call with me. Get on my calendar. Let's have a discussion, guys. I'm a real person. You'll have a conversation with me just like this, and we can talk about your business. I can tell you very quickly whether I can help you and what I think you need to do, or if I can't help you, I'll also tell you what I think your next steps are as well. Really quickly before we go, who don't we work with? We really don't work with the solopreneur right now, the individual business owner, because you need a team. As you see how I just enumerated those 3 things that you need to do. If you don't have a team, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be writing and spending all your time doing these systems and documentation. You should still have a systems mentality in mind, and you might want to write your processes down, but don't worry about doing all of this kind of work here. What your job is right now is to get more clients, to get more business, to expand your company until the point where you need a team. And then at that point, you need to start getting that team to understand what they do and to get that documentation written. Anyways, that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. I hope you guys got some value about that. If you did, please, take some time, book a call. Other than that, I wish you all the success, and we'll make this business year the best year on record for you. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.
Hi, my name is Alberto Segueda, and I'm the owner of Left Coast Reef. We specialize in coral and saltwater tank maintenance. We've been established since 2019, and before using Systems by Pete, my life was kind of overwhelmed. I couldn't step out the office. We weren't that organized for all my employees, and thanks to Pete, once he put the system in place, it relieved a lot of stress off my behalf. Was able to step out the office, and I totally recommend it to anybody. Thank you.